That is the last start whistle for the Southwest Idaho Cycling Association parking lot crits for 2022. But let's do a quick recap. This season, I started some beef, I squashed some beef. The birds still never have beat them. Always coming in second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever, to at least one, but mostly two birds. So this race is our last chance to do something about it. As some of you may know, Stash Power and I have squashed our beef. We've come together for the greater good, beating the birds. My plan, our plan really, was to chase down anything to keep it all together, make sure that Stash Power got an opportunity to sprint for some points. He needed a handful of points to upgrade to Cat 2, which is sweet, because that means that I no longer have to race against Stash Power because he's great at sprinting. And then I'm hoping that next year I don't have to race against some of these birds because they're freaking fast. So anyways, anything that went off the front, my legs were feeling super good today. I would chase it down, sit on the wheel, and really just try to keep everything together. And to be honest, this is probably the most fun I've had racing all year. Not only do we have to contend with the birds, but also here on the right, we have St. Al's, and they had numbers. Here goes Tony flying off the front. They were definitely eager to do some catch and counter. They would throw an attack out, we'd chase it down, and I mean, right when we caught it, they would throw out another attack. And so they were doing a really great job at catch and counter this race, and they had the numbers to do it. Tony, this guy's like super fit. He can go off the front and stay away. So this is definitely a threat. I got, looks like Noah in front of me, who's a bird. He's racing for Ben, who needs a handful of points also to cat up to Cat 2. And so he was also eager to make sure that this didn't get away. When I chased things down and caught them, I would typically stay on their wheel. So right there you can see second wheel, Noah takes a flyer, come around Tony, chase down Noah. And you can see on my wheel, we have Ben Bird, definitely a threat, but we also have Stash Power on his wheel. Right when I catch, this is a really smart move by Ben, right when I catch Noah, Ben's probably thinking, oh, Taylor's tired, I'm gonna attack right here. No, I'll just do over 1300 watts just to stay on that wheel and not let it get away. I'm not gonna lie, legs felt pretty bulletproof. Every attack I did, and I think this is like 5 or 6 attack or counter attack that I went after, and we're only like not even a third into this race. My legs felt good, felt super strong, and it was just super fun to kind of keep control of this race, make sure nothing got away, knowing that, I mean, I could put it all out there and I didn't have to save anything for the sprint. And so I wasn't racing conservative at all, just putting it all out on the line and excited to see what would happen next. Right here was kind of interesting with the attack, counter attack by the birds.
Let's go. Ready to work, man?
So we had a little bit of a gap. It was me, Stash Power, Tony from St. Al's, and Ben. Ben slips in. I get on the front and put in a decent pace, seeing if we can stay away. Unfortunately, not too much later, it all comes back together, which is fine. Still controlling the race. We're probably still less than halfway through. Right as it comes back together, St. Al's, Kelsey, he throws the counter, perfect timing. Tony was part of that break that we had going for a little bit. Right when it comes back together, his teammate throws the attack out the front. And we let him go for a bit solo. And once again, still only about halfway through the race, didn't think it was that threatening. But right here, I got on the front just to pick up the pace a little bit more, just to kind of start closing that gap down on Kelsey. Right as we get within striking distance of Kelsey, Noah goes off the front and tries to counter. And Tony, super smart, he sees this and he thinks, well, once we catch Kelsey, we can slingshot across. So he goes as well, and I couldn't let that go. Once again, put over 1,000 watts in just to make sure this thing stays together, because that is definitely a threatening move. Super smart on both Noah and St. Al's to use that opportunity to counter. Fortunately enough, I was ready, even though I was on the front. Put it in. Guys, like I said, golden legs today. Just really had it in me. Super pumped. I know I keep like giving myself props, but like I said, this was a fun race and I felt really good about it. All right, at this point, we're probably about halfway through. Stash Power actually tells me, hey, go back, get some get some rest for a little bit. Right here, Tony goes solo. And at first, I'm like, he's still within striking distance. We can get him. And I kind of move up, and I'm thinking, I can get him. Legs still feeling good. But no one does anything. And a little bit later, that little dot right there, that's Tony. That guy's gone. I honestly am a little bit disappointed that that happened because, like I said, I still feel like I had the legs in order to go chase that one move down before it just kind of went too far. Right here, Noah gets on the front. Like I said, he is working for Ben. He's trying to pull it back. And I figure if I can get a free ride, fantastic, I'll do that. But definitely wasn't going to work to chase down Tony at this point because he had probably between a third and a half of a lap up on us. A little bit later, Noah tries flicking me through. Definitely wasn't going for it. I didn't see that coming back. But right here, Brian Cohagen, Bob's Bikes, Pure Diesel, he gets on the front. And once again, same thing. There's a free ride, I'm going with it. So get back on Noah's wheel and just keep that close. Problem with that, Ben and Noah, they didn't take too kindly to that strategy.
Come on, Ben, get up here.
Yeah, where's that?
I don't have teammates.
Ben, I know you're watching this. Bro, you didn't take like one pull, bro. So that was pretty rich coming from you. Anyways, didn't work. Once again, Brian gets on the front. I follow the wheel. And we're just racing for second at this point.
He's gone. He's gone.
Just stating the obvious to Stash Power that we're racing for second. This is a super well executed attack. Right here, watch.
All right, Kelsey, you mother.
So Ben went, Brandon followed, and then Kelsey just floats to the front and just gets right in front of me, creating a little bit of a gap. And I kind of called him out on it, and he moved out of the way. He's being a bro about it for sure. And once again, I was able to chase that back down. I need to go back and count, but it's a lot. I've been chasing a lot of people down, guys. Once again, legs feeling money. All right, I got to give a shout out here. So Ben Bird, obviously super strong. Up on the side, rolls up Shannon, his dad. So
I know where airlines fly.
Dude, so sick that they can race together in the same field. Anyways, he gets on the front. We're getting to the end of the race, and a little bit after this, Stash Power tells me, hey, go grab a breather. I need you on the last lap. So I move to the back here. All right, guys, this is when things get fun. We're coming around with 3 to go. I realize I need to be here at the front to start helping Stash on the last laps. Noah, he's working for Ben. He has the same idea. Up the road is actually Stash Power, and I definitely don't want to let Noah get away from this. I want to make sure that Stash knows that I got Noah. He doesn't have to worry about chasing that down. I'm just going to get on Noah's wheel. Stash Power lets me know that, hey, don't put in too much effort until the last lap. I am ready to rock and roll, folks. Stash Power gives the congratulations to Tony. With 2 laps to go, he has officially lapped the field, and if we didn't know already, we're racing for second. Once again, Shannon, Ben's dad, gets on the front and starts drilling it. This is actually really great for Stash Power and I, because in essence, Shannon is kind of like our third lead out guy. He's keeping that pace super high. 2 laps to go. Not a lot of people are going to be able to come around at this point and move any positions up in the field. And you can see behind in the rear cam, the field is already getting really strung out. So right now you got Shannon, myself, Stash Power, Tony, who's already lapped the field, and then Ben. I'm on the front, leading Stash out with some fairly fresh legs. I want to keep this power as high but as consistent as possible, make it just impossible for anybody to come around me. Guys, all I have to do is get around these last few corners. And drop Stash off. And guys, I don't know, I'm tooting my own horn again, but I am crushing it. Come around here, last corner, pull off, and check out my heart rate. I can't remember the last time I saw 186. And from there, it's just letting Stash Power do what Stash Power does best. The guy can sprint, guys. Look at him. He puts daylight between everybody else. And that's second place. Tony had lapped the field. Guys, as I reflected on this 8-race series, from day one, race number 1, Stash Power and I were beefing. Halfway through, we squashed the beef. It took 8 races for us to come together and beat the birds. It reminds me of the quote, "Nothing brings you together like a common enemy." The birds were Stash Power and I's common enemy, and after 8 battles, we won the last one. The one that counts. It's kind of like the Super Bowl. Looking at my bike after the race, a big old chunk of rubber was straight up missing from the back tire. Apparently, you don't need that piece of rubber to beat the birds. Also, a quick shout out to a friend and his kids that came and supported. That was sweet. Guys, that's it. Parking lot series is done. The next race, however, is the Speedway Crit, which is super fun. Fun to mix up the courses. We've been going around this parking lot a lot this summer. And then after that, Loadija. Side note, I did get COVID 2 weeks ago. And every time I get on the bike and my heart rate goes above 140 beats, my chest turns to fire. So we'll see what happens, guys. I had high hopes for this year, redemption after last year, but, you know, you just got to make lemonade out of lemons and stuff, okay? See ya.